Hello, I'm Arthur Schriber, inventor of Schriber Power Wheels. The model before you is designed to capture the energy from gravity to turn large electric generators. This machine will be 40 feet across when folded and 70 plus feet fully extended. Each of the nuts on the end of the arms represent a 5,000 pound weight. In its current configuration with all the arms folded in, it's in what I call the central mass position. This word and what it means is critical to the physics of why this wheel can operate so efficiently. All the legs, arms, and weights involved in this wheel are now part of a central mass. With the arms in the closed position, they have a mathematical equivalent of zero. They are just part of the central mass. I can spin it, and if it were not for friction, it would spin forever as one mass. The path of the weights are also critical. Have a look at the path of the weights in this diagram. When we go back to the model and replicate the path of the weights, we get this, a seriously overbalanced wheel. The reason the wheel is overbalanced is simple. We have thrown 6 5,000 pound weights out on the arms on one side of the wheel, creating 400,000 pounds of torque. The arms on the other side of the wheel have a mathematical value of zero because they are part of the central mass once again. Here's the diagram, according to physics, of exactly what this would look like. As we look at the diagrams side by side, they are visually different, but according to physics, they are exactly the same. I also want you to notice that if this wheel is not doing any work or has no resistance, it will fall on its face and cease to function. As the machine starts, it moves the mass out into a position of leverage using gravity to turn the wheel. As the wheel continues, the machine manipulates the mass by opening and closing of the arms to provide a cascade effect to keep the wheel turning. The machinery to run this wheel is very simple, just 12 identical independent systems. Each of these units will consist of an accumulator built into the leg, an hydraulic cylinder, and a 5,000 pound weight. This design enables the weights to be thrown out and moved in, copying a skater's arms, providing momentum into the direction of the wheel's movement. This wheel traveling at 4 RPMs will give each individual unit 7.5 seconds to recharge between the act of opening and closing. Each unit will always be at some point of operation, so to run this wheel, it will just take the power requirements of 12 electric motors. We will also need one electric motor to run the oil pump for the liquid bearings and a small amount of power to run the computer control system to open and close solenoids when called for. Now that we know how this wheel will operate, we can ask the question, what purpose shall it serve? Not only will this machine capture gravity, it will also be the stator for the generator involved. This whole machine will be riding on 6 planetary gears that are mounted into the foundation. As the wheel rotates, it will turn the planetary gears that will in turn rotate the rotor for the generator in the opposite direction. The magnets will be mounted on the stator and the copper coils will be mounted on the rotor. As the coils collect electricity, it will be passed out through the central axle and onto the transmission lines. Using this planetary gear system will enable us to use a 1:20 gear ratio that will run this generator at 84 RPMs. This 15-foot rotor will be very light with the coils of copper making up 90% of its total weight. The outside of the wheel will also serve as the flywheel. The thickness of the generator will be determined by the workload required to balance the generator with the available 400,000 foot-pounds of torque that this machine produces. This eco-friendly way of generating power will change the industry forever and save the world. Let's get these things built. Thank you.